Hello adventurers, and welcome to another Black Desert mobile video. This one I'm just going to be going over the recent updates for Great Desert. So there is a lot of information on it on the patch notes if you ever want to read it, but I just wanted to make this in case you didn't have time to read the patch notes or you just didn't want to. But if you ever want to check them out, you can click this up here in the top right and then click this right here. But basically what they did was they made the Great Desert content a lot more, I guess, concise. It's a lot easier to complete, and then like the progression for it is a lot more linear. So I'm not going to go through all of the patch notes, but basically the way it goes is they've simplified it into like these 6 bullet points. I'm gonna kind of go through the patch notes. I'm just gonna give my summary of each point, and then I'll jump into the map itself, and then I'll try to give you, I guess, my strategy for how you would actually complete this, just to make it easier. So what they did was they have combined the exploration log and the hidden quests. So to actually unlock each one of these temples, you will have to do these exploration logs. So for every 3 exploration logs that you complete, you will unlock a new temple. So the first 2 are going to be normal temples. The next one's going to be a great temple. The 2 after that are normal and then great temples. So I just wanted to say this before I continue, is the Great Desert is really good content for both new and older players. Like, this is some content that's really going to help you progress your CP, especially with the introduction of Ancient Trials of Ator. So make sure that you're doing these. Make sure that you're completing all of your temples, because like if you don't, you're losing out honestly. And then this is a monthly activity, so you have all month to do it, but it definitely does not take that long, especially since it's been simplified. I just started for like 30 minutes and I'm already like a third of the way through. So again, I will kind of just tell you like what are my recommendations for what of these exploration logs you should be doing, but I'll get to that here in a little bit. But what I wanted to look at was the map as well. So they have updated the map where each one of these temples are going to be in a singular location. So the great temples are always going to be in the same location they were before, but these smaller temples are going to be in these different locations. So wherever these question marks are, you can run over there, and then the temple should be somewhere in that vicinity. So what you can do is you can run in that area and then you'll unlock that knowledge. So just like any of these other areas, it will open up on the map and it'll stay there forever. So these question marks are not permanent. The temples are not moving. Just know that once you run up there, you click to enter, it'll open it up on the map. If you already have it like available right here, so let's say that you've cleared up to this first great temple, you'll be able to unlock these 2. If you've unlocked them and you've shown the knowledge, that specific temple will start to glow yellow. If you haven't unlocked it, where you can't actually do it, remain white. So just keep that in mind. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was these black rock shrines. So there are now 3 black rock shrines, and they are always going to be in the same location. So speaking about the black rock shrines, it's kind of weird. So there is still going to be the black rock shrine that appears after you defeat Laytenn, the world boss, on Monday. So that's unchanged. However, for these black rock shrines, to activate them, you have to use these black rock shrine scrolls. I don't think that they appear just randomly in the world anymore, or that they just drop. You have to use these scrolls, but there are 3 different types. So there's the Shrine Site Blackrock Shrine Scroll, there's Ruins Blackrock Shrine Scroll, and there's Gorge Blackrock Shrine Scroll. So each one of these correspond with one of these different locations. So again, just looking at the map, this would be the Gorge, this would be the Ruins, and then this would be the traditional Blackrock Shrine one, which is Shrine Site Blackrock Shrine. So to actually get these scrolls, defeating Laytenn in the Great Desert and Black Sun will yield 1 type of Blackrock Shrine scroll. This is predetermined based on the amount of contribution that you've contributed. So like the drop rate changes based on how much damage you do. But of course, if someone else uses that scroll, you can always go over there. You will get that notification. I don't know if the drops change for each one of these shrines, but I just wanted to let you know. I'm not going to go into too much more detail on that. So to make a long story short, my audio messed up, so I'm now having to re-record, but that's okay. So picking up where we left off, something that I wanted to talk about really quickly was that Mirage's have changed. So from now on, the location will be rotating monthly. So the number of Mirages is the exact same. It's just, again, that Mirages will be moving around. I'm actually not sure if it still shows it on the map if they are where they are, but I'll go ahead and I'll look at that here in a second. But moving on, the next thing I wanted to talk about was Laytenn. So there was a change to Laytenn where his spawn point is going to be a fixed location. So it's always going to be the same place on the map, and it's going to be right here at this like bone looking thing, or maybe an axe. I can't really tell what it is, but that's where he's going to be spawning, and it will still be at like random intervals. However, Laytenn, whenever he spawns in Black Sun, is also still going to be spawning at random locations. So just keep that in mind. So with that being said, that's actually pretty much everything that I wanted to cover for the map changes. So for the main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was going to be the exploration log. So as you can see here, all of your temples fill up based on how many exploration logs you fill out. So really quickly, I wanted to say that you realistically only have to do 27 exploration logs, just because for every one of these temples to unlock, you have to do 3 logs. There's 9 temples in total, so 3 times 9 is 27. So again, for every 3 exploration logs you complete, you'll unlock 1 new temple. So the first one's Tukar, the next one is Ohm, the next one is Great Temple of Saret. So every 3rd temple is a Great Temple. But because there are 27 temples, you basically only have to do 21 exploration logs, because doing these temples are an exploration log themselves. What I wanted to say was the best thing, in my opinion, to actually complete this is defeating enemies. So if you aren't already, what I would recommend is there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can either defeat enemies here on the actual map, or what you can do is you can actually go to Expedition and then go to Valor. So if you go to Valor, pretty much all of those enemies on the list are here in Valor. So starting off at the first one, you have the Gaza Bandits, or the Gauze Bandit, excuse me. And then moving on, you have the Desert Nagas into the Desert Fogan, and then so on and so forth. Obviously though, if you are a newer player, you might not be able to get that far, because the 5th one is 40k CP, and then the next one after that is 45k CP. So this is a pretty quick way if you want to go ahead and defeat these monsters. The reason I say defeating monsters is probably your best bet is just because, like, a few reasons. First and foremost, when you defeat these monsters, there's 2 quests attached to each one of them. You'll get one exploration log for defeating 200, and then you'll also get a second exploration log for defeating 400 of those monsters. So that's 2 exploration logs just for defeating one type of monster. But also, while you're doing this, you're going to be filling out other exploration logs as well. So there's Great Desert enemies, or defeat Great Desert enemies 2000. And then there's another one attached to that, Great Desert enemies 4000. But also, while you're defeating these enemies, you're going to be consuming water, and you'll also be using purified water. So just by defeating these enemies, you're doing a whole bunch of different exploration logs all at once. What I would say though is, if you're defeating enemies, this is just my personal preference, I prefer to kill them here on the actual map, just because you get a lot more coins this way, but then also it gives you an opportunity to be filling out other exploration logs. So some of these other exploration logs that you would not be able to fill out if you were to do Valor is you can do Excavate. So excavate times 30, excavate times 50. You can just kind of keep excavating while you're defeating these monsters running around the map. But then also, while you're defeating enemies on the map, you can also offer to the Blackrock altar. So every time that you're near a mob that has like this little altar near it, it'll glow purple. You can offer to it, and then that's another one of these exploration logs. But again, my recommendation would be just defeat different types of monsters. Again, you really only need 400 of each one, but just kind of look at the list and then go through each one of them. You can defeat these monsters in any one of these maps. So Amur counts, Torm counts, Shazad counts. So just defeat 400 of them, collect those quick exploration logs, and then move on to the next one. But with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I had for this video. Again, I did just want to reiterate that this is really, really good content, especially if you're a newer player, but even if you are an older player, this is really helpful for your CP progression. So make sure that you're doing this. And honestly, my thoughts and opinions on this is a pretty good change. It seems like it's going to take a while to do at first, but realistically, this kind of gets you to do other types of Great Desert content, and it's a lot quicker than it seems. If you're wondering why my screen is shaking, it's because 2-car Laytenn has spawned, and honestly, I'm going to go do that really quickly just because it's, again, an exploration log, but just kind of be on the lookout. Just get familiar with the exploration log itself, and then make sure that you're doing all of those tasks. You can knock this out in one day, and honestly, I think Valor makes it pretty quick. But with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I had. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to help you out. But if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.